No matter what your age, I can tell by experience that what we want is not only to survive, but to live in comfort, in peace, and in prosperity. And the knowledge that I am supposed to convey to you, that I want to convey to you, that drives me to share it with you, concerns our true identity. You know what that is? That true identity. Yes, we easily mistake it for what we think, for what we know how to do, for our abilities and talents, for the upbringing, the family that we were raised in. We mistake it for what we have learned at school and society. But no, it's something far greater than that. You see, there's millions of cells in our body that are constantly exchanged. What we are is a constantly evolving body. The spirit that we are is constantly evolving, learning by having a body. And the cells in our body, 100 million of them, are so small that we can't see them with the naked eye. And still, they contain organs. And because they're so small, they're called organelles. And they signal, like pulsing 100,000 times a second, so that all other cells in our body may understand their news, may understand their information. I have to chase the flies now and then. And these cells are made of the building blocks we know as atoms, which are saturated with billions of quants. You mind, we are using quantum technology to run our most common electronic items, like cellular phones and computers. Something so common within our everyday. And we take it for granted. And of course, why not? We should. We are living in this time, and this time shows qualities accordingly, according to where we have evolved to be. See, the knowledge I'm sharing, in previous times, it used to be sacred, kept in some religious vaults, secretly. Don't share it with the public. The public might cause havoc using it. Namely, what this knowledge says is that we are all a vibrational substance, that the reality of our physical existence is more like a thought or a dream than what it is, like what it seems to be. namely solid. We're living in a solid world, a seemingly solid world, and it is still a world that by its physics, by what it turns out to be when we use all the knowledge we have to go into the detail. And I tell you, we as ordinary citizens, we are paying for it, and lots, hundreds of billions of dollars we put towards the results of that science. I mean, finally, that is what presents us with mobile phones and computers, as I mentioned. But what it also does, it exposes a world we live in, which is, as a matter of fact, more of a spiritual world than what it is of a material world. That is, I know, very difficult to grasp. That is very hard to take on board. For us who experience joy and pain, physical joy and pain, to know what is real. But if we just take the understanding on board that we are living in a vibrational world, and that is what it is. These quants I've talked about earlier, they are little oscillating particles. They're not even particles, they're an expression of energy, but they're oscillating, they're vibrating. And that is the fundament of our reality. It's vibrating. And as the law of vibration shows, what vibrates similar to me, I will encounter. Naturally, if you set 1,000 pendulums in swing, bing, 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 and they're all different, after a certain amount of time, they all swing in the same frequency. And so do we. If we think, well, you will know from experience that when you have had a bad thought about somebody and you meet him, you cannot meet him with the freedom you meet somebody that you obviously love and think positive about. That's kind of the most coarse level of experience that we can have. And it shows very clearly that we will meet whatever we vibrate with. Sometimes we think of someone whose help we need. I just let this wind pass. And then suddenly we meet him or her, just like that. Just like we maintained a thought that meant to meet that person. And like that, it is with everything else in our lives. We ought to know what we want. We ought to be grateful, and the emphasis can't be high enough. We ought to be grateful for whatever comes into our lives, whatever we receive. And that is, in the first place, that is life itself. It's every breath that we receive. It's not you breathing. It's not us breathing. Just try and stop it for a moment to determine your own will upon it. And you soon realize, impossible. Here's a car coming, so I just wait for it to pass. You know, there's a car coming. I'm in the outback. And a car is not an ordinary thing to come. Out here, there's nobody. That's hardly imaginable in our world, isn't it? But still, there's another car just passing by. I know where they're going. About 50 k's down that way, dirt road, of course, there's a national park with a few caves displaying Aboriginal art. There's a third car coming. They're definitely going to the national park. And I mean, as reality wants, national park is claiming all the areas that are unusable with agricultural means. That is, you can't grow anything, you can't graze a livestock there. It's just out there somewhere, hard to get to. And all these areas are these days, especially in Australia actually, claimed to give the natural environment a place to live, which I really do appreciate, because whenever I go there, I can hardly close my mouth. That's how stunned I am about what there is to be found. So we are living in paradise. We are in every respect. And of course, we got to thank our farmers to provide us with food that we all need. And I heard a scientist the other day saying, become aware of that till about 1840, we used to die at 35 years of age. And due to science, we increased our lifespan in just these 180 years to go to 80, 90, 100, who bits more? So science means a lot. And earlier on, I used science to found the argument of my address to you. It's science that tells us we are living in a vibrational world. So please do consider it and act accordingly. It's all about loving life. It's all about the joy of life. It's all about feeling that inner peace and making it possible on the material level. We don't have to fight each other for possessions. We are made of a creative source. And whenever we come in touch with that creativity, we feel home. Let's feel home. It's about time. Okay, I talk to you from the national park again. Bye for now.